So coming in, especially after such wonderful performance, by different people, I think it's going to be a challenge, right? So I'll try to do some justice and hopefully, kind of entertain. So I'll start with, I was having a discussion that why no write-up, right? So now I've survived many VC pitches where investors have, kicked you out. So 99% will not listen, 1% will listen. So one thing I realized, it's generally good to be dil se, right? So I think here, I see an idea, I see a spark. So if you see Sapphire, so Sapphire to me connotes two things. First would be the idea. And when I say idea can be very big. So, if you see India as an idea, a 5,000-year-old idea still survives. We all are part of it, throbbing, growing. So I think Sapphire as an idea has survived 15 years. Congratulations to all. And I see it, growing multifold. Second, I would say is how, beautifully, Ankit and with Divya, you two together had brought out that logo where you see infinity. Now, infinity, let's spend some time and then I'll relate it to what could be a direction-setting movement for us. Infinity, on one hand, encompasses everything, and a reverse is actually zero. But zero not in nothing, zero in terms of how zero is the stepping stone for all the digits, right? So we know the difference between how Roman numerals used to be before zero came in, right? And it was always there. Of course, they didn't know about it. So infinity is related to something which is very existential for Indian civilization. In fact, I'm trying to write something on it also. So it is around Advaita and Shunyata, which basically means, how at the core our entire existence sits on it. And then it's a pretty long debate. I'll not bore you guys, but I'll bring it to the point that how infinity defines the very moment where we are in. It also relates to nowness, where we are. And from here, I'll relate it to something bigger, right? So when I met Ankit, a couple of months ago, so in fact, I'm a person new to, the family. So what actually struck me was the idea and the nowness of the idea, right? So when I say that, basically, I like to also, like Ankit, relate in stories. The story to which I relate to and in which could be, the big movement for Sapphire also is around diversity. So as we speak, diversity is a revolution which is, underneath us. I have shared some statistics here and there. Last 20-25 years, the women voter percentage in India has increased by 50%, right? So if you see in the mainstream, your people from diversity categories like LGBTs, PWDs, etc., are coming and joining the ecosystem. So there is also from the regulatory environment intense pressure to basically make diversity mainstream, and therein that idea creates a spark. And thanks to Ankit and Sushma and Rishi's effort, and of course supported by Sandy and others and Nagma. So IDF, which basically constitutes the forum which helps us relate to these teams. So that I see is a wonderful attempt where we have infra ready, where we will, since I'm talking about the idea of DI jobs. So that is where we, connect the two dots and hopefully create a much larger your venture. And I have always thought of that, I have had, some smaller, I would say, movements and success, etc. in the startup ecosystem. But I've always been after what I would call as what is the next unicorn idea. So this perhaps could be one, So diversity can be pretty large, and Sapphire as an idea can, your piggyback on top of it and, hopefully become many times larger. And as Namrata had beautifully outlined that how in next 5-6 years we could be double in terms of our, the size of the GDP, touching $6 trillion and hopefully larger. I think this idea can be the idea which drives us along, and also the efforts put in by all my seniors and everyone. So I'll just like to stop it here. It's a pretty long thing, but let others also contribute. And once again, thank you all for being here and being part of the idea. So let's pray that the idea becomes really big, and we all are able to share it to the coming generations. Yeah. So thanks.